Yeah, thank you for those insights.
Mm.
Like talking about a general thing, what cultural do you see difference living 27 years in Australia, growing up over there, like between Nagaland and Australia?
Mm.
And do you think there's potential for Nagaland also to change in different ways?
Mm. Ah, my goodness. In terms of the differences, worlds apart. Uh, it'll be really hard to hone down. Like, for example, when I speak to my friends in Australia, I catch up with them on the phone. It's very challenging to describe what it's like to live here to them. There's a very little point of reference, right? And vice versa. So again, as you're saying, what's the different talking here? It's again, it's very hard to describe, and also my experience of Nagaland is limited. Let's say 6 months, right? So it's 27 years worth of experience versus comparing to 6 months of experience. So doing a full comparison or a broad, in-depth comparison is quite challenging. Of course, it's easy to say some of the infrastructure, that's quite different. There, the roads are quite good, everything is working, and the quality of things are quite good. All right. So I think in terms of, I won't talk so much about what's different because there are too many things to describe, right?
Of course.
But what I'll do is I'll hone into a few aspects, right? So the few aspects, I think one thing that I did notice quite strongly is the understanding of quality, right? So quality is subjective, it's really hard to define, everybody knows that, but in my own definition, my own shortcut, the way that I define quality is attention to detail, right, and practice, right? So repetition and practice and attention to detail. So for example, if you're looking at a table or a chair or something that's being made, right, if you look at the very, very detail, right, and you know that it's been refined, so there's practice has been refined over a couple of times, you can safely say that is of quality, right? So I think that is something that is, for me, starkly different here. And we can say because of our adaptation to 4 industrial revolutions between one generation, we can say because of a deep history of conflict, we can say because of a generation of alcoholism and drug abuse, right? We can say because of coming out of a village lifestyle going into urbanization, right? We can say because 80% of Nagas live on subsistence farming, right? So we can say for many, many reasons, right? So for many, many reasons, the visibility around quality is lacking, right? And I think that's something that we can focus on, right? So how much attention do we pay to the small detail, right? And how do we start refining our practice? Whereas I think in Australia, there's been a consistency there. So whether you're a teacher, whether you're a carpenter, whether you're a software developer, whatever field you're in, the education system and the environment in general teaches you to pay attention to the detail. And it values refinement, right? And for here, generally speaking, right, again, observation of a very short 6 months, some of that is lacking. Right? So I think that's a very new phenomenon. Right? Because if you watch, right, a woolen weaving, there is very much attention to detail, right? And there's a lot of refinement. In fact, the practice is generation after generation after generation. So I don't think a lack of understanding of quality or focus on quality is absent from our culture in general. I think it's an anomaly that's happened over the past few decades. And I think prior to that, when you watch the paddy fields, the way that the paddy fields are constructed, no matter what village you go to, there's an immense quality in that, right? It's been refined over generations, and they pay attention to detail about what the water is, where does the water overflow, where does the water end up, right? So people are watching it attentively, right?
It's different cultures and also totally different environments and cultures and people. So there must be, I mean, of course it must be totally different also. But attention to detail, you were saying, is very important, even in the businesses, even in the work, everything. So
that's one of the starkest differences I found.
I think if you put that in business perspective, personally I have seen few businesses that have existed in Nagaland for like so many years, and over time, instead of like refining and then improving, they have started degrading the quality. Specifically speaking, I'm like talking to food and beverages. So that's like you said, like we don't lack the system of improving ourselves. It's just that people are just moving away from that system where we try to improve ourselves over time with our experience. Because when you talk about quality, you think, okay, a company is existing since 1860 or 1960. You think that it's an old company, so the quality must be good, but that's not how it works in Nagaland. We tend to like get loose sometimes.
So for whatever reason, we're not valuing this thing called quality. We're not as a society, as a customer, we're not demanding quality, we're not valuing quality. So that's one of the differences that I see.
A very valid point, a very vital point.
Also, in Nagaland's defense, it would be like little subjective and unfair to compare Nagaland and Australia.
We're just curious to know, but we came up with a very vital point. That's something we should focus on, I should say. Okay. Now we have Inakali, right? So please take the time to introduce your business as well as the issues you face.
So I have this business that I run that is called Foster Plans, and that's how I got into the world of social media managing, because I was handling the social media, my foster plans, then from sourcing of the plans to potting to everything, like literally I was doing it on my own, like, and also handling social media, taking care of the customers, online customers, right? So I got into this world, and that's how I started managing people. Some of my friends, they came up to me and then they wanted me to help them manage their media, social media, like that, no? So that's how I got into this world, and I started managing social media pages. I've handled probably around 5 to 6 accounts, like a big business that is like doing so well in Nagaland. Some of the challenges that I'm facing is like, the thing is, one of the biggest skill that social media manager should have is multitasking, right? Because I have to be very good at multitasking. I have to do so many things at one go, right? I have to be here, I have to take care of my business, I have to keep my business running, then I have to serve my other client, then another client, then another client, like that. And then every messages, from their maintaining of the feeds to replying the messages to uploading to, like literally everything I'm taking care, right? So I have to be very good multitasker, and that's where I am facing a challenge there.
You're working alone?
Yeah, this is the reason. So this is the only problem this is the only challenge that I'm facing, but it's not really a challenge, but also a challenge as well, right? And also another challenge that I'm facing is the social media managing thing is a very new thing, right, in Nagaland. Like it's a very recent thing, and people don't really know the value of it, the work and time that we're putting. And like, a client, any time of the day, they can just text, and like they can just mail us, DM us, and we have to keep replying to the messages, or else we're losing customers, right? Like, one thing is that our time and effort is not valued to that. Like people really don't know how much effort we're giving, right? So that is another challenge that I'm facing, and because it's still new, and so like the pricings, like it's very unknown, right? Like getting into something unknown, and so like cannot even charge like that, right? Again, so there's another challenge as well. So
KV has already mentioned something about how he deals with that challenge, trying to raise awareness with his clients, and also how would you raise more awareness so that people realize the value of your service, right? So perhaps I'll open up that one. Or you have something more to say, please go ahead. Yeah.
I'll speak as not your client, but a client. So I'm a client of a social media marketing company, right? So one of the things that I always talk to them as a client, and also helpful for their business, is return on investment, right? So what I ask them to do is I say, track what you are doing. And if you're in marketing or social media, you know that it's quite easy to track. How many people inquired because of a post, how many people went to the website, if you have an e-commerce store, how many people bought something, right? Or whatever traffic and customers you're generating. Then that customer, how much did they spend, right? So then if I go to my social media management company, my marketing company, and they said, oh, you gave us 10,000 rupees, right? We've brought through our work these clients and they've spent 50,000. That is so easy, right? So what I'd ask them to do is talk to me in terms of return on investment, right? Don't tell me this was a creative, this post looks very good, this all of it is very nice, right? They do a very good job. But as a client, right, I said, talk to me in return of investment. Say you gave us X amount of rupees, this is how much we brought back for you, right? And in that sense, my decision making is very simple, right? If they say, if you give us 10,000, we'll bring back 20,000. If you give us 50,000, we'll bring back 1 lakh, right? Then it's so easy. And I also tell them, do this to your other customers, right? Or do this to potential customers. Use me as a case study, use others as a case study, right? And if you go to any business owner, right, these guys, if I went to you, I said, hey, give me 10,000 rupees, right? And I will return 50,000 rupees in sales. What would you say?
Obviously, I'll go for that.
No objection, right?
It could be in terms of sales, in terms of clients.
Yeah, traffic. But specifically speaking, not even in terms of likes and followers, right? Specifically, return on the investment. Because you're hiring, like I'm hiring their services to gain business, right? So if they can speak to me in terms of that language, then absolutely I have no objection. If they came back to me and said, oh, you gave 10,000 rupees for a campaign and we got 500 likes, I'll be like, so what? Is 500 likes feeding my business?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So when I get very down to that pinpoint, I think it's helpful for me as a client to know their value and how much value they're actually giving me. And I think it's helpful for them to speak to other clients or potential clients about how much value they're delivering.
In a way, she won't be knowing how much they are profiting or how much they are getting, right? So how would she ask her client, or you say check your financials or check your income,
It might be simple as like, suppose you're managing the social media, right? You do a post, right? Through that post, somebody DMs you, right? That through that DM, they may purchase a product. That's a return on investment. Because you have direct communication with that, right?
Yeah.
I think the only issue is the transparency here. For example, if she is managing the social media and somebody is not necessarily buying through social media but have got to know about a company through social media and have maneuvered through some third party or have directly contacted the owner, then she is oblivious of the transaction that's happening. Then maybe due to safeguard that that XX amount, she may not be
I think
aware of that.
I think in that case, anyway, I'm going to be pretty harsh here. I think in that case, it's the onus on the media agency to create those channels, right? So, for example, I'll just use our business. We survey our students and our teachers all the time. So, you could say, hey, you don't know if the teacher has improved. You don't know if the student is benefiting. It's my job to find out. So, with the teachers, after their training, we survey them. Before the implementation, we survey them. After the implementation, we survey them. When the students jump on board, we survey them. After they've used it for a month, we survey them. After they've used it for 3 months, we survey them, right? Thankfully, everything's been, 95% are very happy with students. They say it's improved their learning outcomes. Teachers, we have 100% satisfaction rating of every single teacher that we've taught. And I think 80%, 90% said it improved their digital education, and 80% said it was relevant for their profession. The reason I'm saying this is because that is my evidence to my client or to a potential client that my product is of value. Right? And of course, I wouldn't know this until I survey. So in the same sense, the mechanism might not be direct, but I think the responsibility for us as a business is to create those mechanisms, so that we can demonstrate value if they don't exist. Yeah.
Can it be like data collection, as in like our value, it's our business value or our brand depends on data, right?
Yeah.
So like survey, it's like collecting data.
Yeah.
So supposing you were to sell your brand, supposing that data will define your value, I guess. Similarly, I guess it's just a suggestion to you. Why the word data? Because one of my friend, a very good friend of mine in Dimapur, told me that no matter whatever your assets are, it's always your data. It proves that like you have done your work. So it shows that like you have. See, we will never know that you have done such and such things over the years. It's the data that's going to prove your value. So over time, I guess you should now refocus on your data if it's that case. I guess
that's what you're saying, and what your friend was saying is very true about the future of business, right? The whole thing is data driven. That's where your real value is. And then like you think about the biggest businesses in the world, right? Airbnb,
exactly.
Right? Airbnb is the largest, let's say, accommodation chain in the world. They don't own a single hotel, right? Uber, the biggest taxi company in the world, not owning a single taxi, right? Amazon, we were talking about that earlier, the biggest retailer in the world, they don't own a single store, right? All they're doing is facilitating the exchange of information or data between customer, between marketplace, between business. It's all about that data that they're churning that generates their value, right? So I think, moving forward, I think we need to understand that is the real value, and then really hone in on that topic.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that struck my mind is like she's been handling many clients as a social media manager. So I'm not very well versed with social medias, but one suggestion is like instead of handling 5-6 clients, you might be distracted. So what if you go on straight to a particular client? Then when you reach a certain platform, maybe your budget also goes up. So instead of handling 5-6 and getting 4-digit profit, you can focus on one and then you can charge 5. So that's how you can also increase your brand or your platform.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Yeah.
I mean, focus on one and what is in front of you instead of focusing on 5 different things. Right. I mean, valid for all sorts of business.
Yeah, valid for all sorts of business.
That can be a testimony.
Yeah.
Okay, one last question perhaps. What skills help you to be an effective social media manager?
Like I said earlier, it's multitasking. I have to be a good multitasker. That's one of the biggest skill. And also I have to be well versed with all the companies that I'm working with, right? So that I am able to clients,
serve them well.
and serve the clients and the customers, So multitasker.
Okay. Do you also keep up with the social media trends and stuff like that?
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, the trend have to be there to run the business, to keep the business going, right? Like real story updating, like that.
So, just for example, you're talking about the benefits of your service to YV deliveries. Can you just say in a few lines, what the benefits of your service would be for YV deliveries?
Okay, the thing is like you own a company, right? Like you don't have time to be dealing with because you have a lot of big works to be done, the unseen works
Physical.
behind. Yeah, so social media thing, it actually takes up your whole, almost the entire the whole day, right? Like to upload a picture, to keep entertaining the customers, because how many DMs you get in a day, right? So all these are like handled by the social media manager. That way your work is lighter, and it's also systematic for you, right? Like to keep updated with your work. Yeah.
So how are your charges?
So I charge, so the charges depends upon the work, the time that I'm investing. Like sometimes, if the pictures are taken by you like that and you send it to me to upload it, that is another thing. Like, but I have to, if I have to come take the pictures, the videos, then I have to make reels, or maybe like do like editings and everything. If I have to do everything on my own, the charges of course will rise, right? Yeah, so it's like entirely depends upon how much time and effort I'm giving into, so my charges is according to that.
So your platforms are Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or
No, TikTok is banned in India, right? It's Instagram.
Instagram?
Yeah.
Can I try a different pitch?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So, what's your company?
Why deliveries?
Deliveries, right? So, how do you mainly get
You're
your...
talking on behalf of...
How do you
Yeah,
mainly
yeah.
get your customers?
Through Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you understand the importance of it,
Yes.
right? So that's the main channel. So that's where you want to invest most, right? Let's say, up to 80-90% is coming from there, new customer acquisition.
In terms of advertisement,
Yeah.
it's a good platform.
Yeah. So exactly. So don't worry about how much time I'm spending on it. Don't worry about the effort I'm putting on it. But whatever you invest, right, will return the customers to you. So your profits will double. That's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't worry about I'm going to spend more time. I'm going to be putting more effort. The customer they don't really mind how much effort you're going to put. Whether you're going to put a full day work or half day work or quarter day work, that's not in their mind,
No.
right? In their mind is, what am I getting back from your service?
Yeah.
What is the value of your service? So selling from that point of view.
Then
From
then,
their point of view.
Then she got an option,
Yeah.
because you cannot accept every client, because there are some business which is not marketable at all. Okay, that she needs to understand as somebody who is doing, because if she's charging just say X amount of money and she's like, I'll give you this much in return, but she needs to know if she can actually do it or not in a market, and you know the situation that the business is. So she have an option. If she wants to take challenge and be adventurous with her work and career, then she can go. But if she is like playing safe, then she should understand what is our capacity and what is the the length of your business can go up to, the demand and supply as well.
So it's like, I mean, the social media thing is like in right now, it's trending, right? Like I mean,
Right.
everyone is getting information through social media,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
100%.
I mean, you like you said, 80%, 90% of your customers are through social media. That's where, like he said, that's where you have to invest, right? So maybe social media managing will be very much important to you. No, not telling myself. But still,
But you
yeah.
I think it will be relevant for the next 100 years. It should be.
Thank you for your insights and also for your sharing your issues. We move on to our next entrepreneur, Mr. Namang.
Yeah. So we are a non-profit institute. So I assume everyone here is working in a for-profit companies and working in a for-profit sector. But little unusual for me. But yeah. So we have this institute called MMB Cyber School. So little backstory is like I was working in Bangalore for like a good 5 to 6 years, and when I came back this year, it has been really hard for me to explain what I do there. First thing first, especially to my own sisters and my families. And as I go out, I meet different people, relatives, friends, and they'll be asking, "What do you do?" So in my Bangalore companies, I used to work for branding and all. social media marketing sometimes, digital marketing and stuff. But branding, and we used to do it for our clients, and nobody actually understood that. And then when I actually saw people doing what they are doing, I realized something, that people doesn't actually understand what they are doing on their phone most of the times. They're just browsing for the sake of browsing because they have free internet, or they're using apps, phone, because smartphone is very affordable, internet is very affordable, and since everyone is using it, they all want to use it. So especially you can say my parents and everyone's parents, but most of them doesn't understand what are the threats, what are the advantages that comes along with it. So fast forward, we came up with this idea of started training people, giving workshops on that, and then we came up with this idea of having a cyber school. So till today we have conducted several workshops, and when I say institute, don't have an idea that we have a physical school or something. It's a traveling school, so we travel to different till now we are just exploring suburban areas, like we have been to Jaluke, and we have been to several areas across in Kohima, and then we train them, and we train all kind of people, like it could be a student, a youth, a dropout student, a parents, an entrepreneur, maybe a street vendor sometimes. So it's very interesting. We interact with all of them. We teach them about cyber safety, how to use phones, how to leverage social media, and boost their business, and all sort of like digital literacy and cyber safety centric topics. In terms of having challenges, it's very tricky because most of the people pretend they know everything. So if somebody is using WhatsApp in front of me, and then I ask them, have you ever tried WhatsApp Business? They'll be like, what is that? So WhatsApp Business, like most of the e-commerce app, it's a very it's a free, I guess, no? It's a free tool, and then you can sell stuff there. But most of the entrepreneurs doesn't know that yet. You can have your own catalog there. You can start online catalog where people can come and buy, put it in a cart and stuff like that. So these are the small things people like pretend to know. They pretend to act like they know, but most of the time, most of the people doesn't know actually what are the advantages as well. In terms of cyber safety, I think we have a trend right now going on, like most of the accounts are getting hacked. You should know better.
Yeah.
And it's also because of the influx of cryptos. Cryptos, and we have email scams, we have job scams, we have tech support scams, and lots of things. So these are the things that the people doesn't actually put values until and unless they have lost something. So if you are approaching somebody who haven't experienced such situation in their life, it's very hard to put across the values that you are trying to give it to them. So yeah.
I feel like he's talking to me because just recently my social media account also got hacked. So I was kind of lost. I don't know what I should do. I didn't know how to retrieve back my account. So literally I've lost my business promotion. So it's very hard to get even a genuine customer who is following me in social media. So like cybercrime is around our corner now. So you can also suggest me like how I can prevent or actually do it in the future, so that it won't happen again.
Potential crime.
So, we just had a workshop at one of the organization NGO here. See, one of the main thing when I interacted with them, most of them had this experience before, and people should understand that most of the cyber crimes, that even if you file a FIRE, there is nothing that you're going to get in return. Even if the money you have lost, there is like maybe 2% chance out of 100 that you're going to get it back. If it's an account, maybe you can get it, you can do some gimmicks and you can get it back. So the only way is prevention. And how to have the sense of prevention is to have the education, awareness, and something around that. So that's what we are pushing. Like they always say, prevention is better than cure. So we are revolving around that. In terms of your case, if you have lost an account and if you have opened that account with an email address or a phone number which you have still access to, then maybe there are some ways you can retrieve it back.
What about double verification, or what do you call it?
Two-factor.
Yeah, two-factor or double authentication. This one. Those, interestingly, those are not available for all kind of platforms. You'll get that in, since I play games, mobile games sometimes, you'll get that in certain mobile games. You'll get that in certain, sometimes you have that in a hosting servers and all.
YouTube.
Yeah, and you have in YouTube's and email addresses also, whichever is like hosting that. So it's not available for everyone, but it's good if you can do that.
So you're saying prevention is better than cure.
Yes.
So what are some steps I can take to make sure that my social media, my online content and all, it's not hacked? What can I do?
Okay, so there is a trend, like I was saying that Bitcoin trend, nah?
Yeah.
Not bit. I think it's bit mining,
Okay.
coin mining. So if there is a one rotten apple, it destroys the all other apples. So assuming her account got hacked because she was not cautious enough. Now let's say she have like around 1,000 followers, okay, and both of you are a very good friend. Now she's like sending you a message on Instagram, and now that you know her, like both of you know each other very well, you will not even think twice before you like just click on anything that she's sending, okay, and you will not even check. You'll just click, and then even your account is gone. Now the person who hacked your account will do the same thing to your personal network.
This is called phishing, right?
It's a very vague term.
Okay.
You have bait, you have gate phishing and all. Gate phishing is really for Tinders and all.
Yeah.
So it's like a syndicate of cybercrime where they use the personal connection, the relevancy. Because if Sir and I, we are very good friends on social media, and he sends me a link, I will not even think twice just to click on the link.
So how do I know it's genuine, or how do I know it's fake?
So
what can I do?
So the only option is to not click anything unless you're sure that it's something. Just yesterday, my friend, very good friend, he sent me a link of him an online singing competition. Okay, you saw that, no? I posted on my WhatsApp. So he's singing, and then he said, he sent me that, and he said, bro, please share this. Then I did not click. I said, is this a scam?
You test.
Yeah, I'm testing.
Okay.
Then he replied, no, it's just me singing there. Can you just share? So usually I try to, before clicking on the link, I try to reply them back. What is it about? Why do you, why you're sending me this? I try to have a conversation, because if it's a hacker, not necessarily they will have that conversational spirit with you. Even if they have that, it will be very odd, and then be very awkward that you will notice that, okay, this is not her.
Okay. That's good. So if any of you send me a video of you singing on guitar, I'll be double checking.
Unless you use a guitar.
And also anything to do with crypto or Bitcoin or stuff like that.
Let's not even dive into that, because it's like very sensitive for people who are very fascinated about that. But yes, crypto has become a boon for people who are into this hacking stuff. Before, we used to get job scam, email scam, SMS scam. Like you get this SMS now, like you have won like 25 crore or something. So this kind of thing, we used to get call scam. We have Paytm, OLX, Quicker. Everything is being used as a scam platform now. So we just have to be very cautious.
Mostly people who are susceptible to greed and who want more easy money. They're also more susceptible to it.
Also, this one I wanted to, if you guys are using, and then if you guys are very oblivious about certain things, tech support. It's very important. Tech support scheme. Okay, that's like very prevalent in India. For example, if you are using an Asus laptop, and then something is wrong, and you want to call a customer care or something, you maybe, if you don't know a number, you'll just Google Asus customer support or helpline or something. Now be sure which link you're clicking in, because as someone who is aware of how the domains and the URL works, it's very tricky. You'll think that it's an Asus website, but it's actually not an Asus website. So when you open a Google page, the first few links will be an ads. Okay, now you should know that a scam company, if it's an organized scam company, they spend crores and crores on ads alone. Google Ads. Now the ads work for them. So the first few links will definitely have like one or two like scam links. So sometimes you'll get like, but Google will indicate like there will be an AD. Okay. So try to avoid those links, even if it looks very helpful for you. And then go down, and then you'll find the original, like the homepage. Like before, he was saying like Samsung.com/IN, means it's in India, right? So you may see that on top, but if it's like AD, try to avoid that. It may be like genuine also, but just try to avoid that. Come back, you'll find the one without the ad. So you can just click there, and then you can process your whichever requirement you have.
Talking about cybersecurity, dark web or deep web.
It's
It has
dark
been
web, yeah.
dark web.
Yeah.
It has been like really intriguing people since that time. So to you, dark web, is it just some thing?
Dark web is also it's like a private server. It's like how people use money to transfer in blockchain during the crypto. Before crypto came out, dark web was some sort of that communication. Now it's I don't see it as a bad thing. It's just like social media. If you use it for a bad purpose, then it becomes bad. Now there are lots of bad things that happens there, not because dark web is bad, but the people who are using it is using it for a bad purpose.
Okay, fascinating, and I think some good points for all of us.
Very useful.
Anything else you would like to ask from Nabang before we move on to the next? Okay, I guess we'll shift to YV deliveries. Yeah.
So we basically run fast, what do you call that? Flash delivery. Yeah, we do that, and like we act as the hands and feet of the people, our customers, and we have been trying to provide a service so that it can benefit us and also benefit the customers and also the shop owners, or like anything which is linked to business or like personal, and
So it's any kind of items.
any type of items. We do chores, anything, which is like daily
what
basic.
about, do you even buy groceries and?
We do.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
we do that also.
So if I send you a grocery list,
We'll get it for you. That's the
That's what they do for me.
excellent service.
It's like
In Korea.
flash.
Are you the only business doing that, or?
There is some competitors, but like I think we are the first.
I think
One
you
of the
still have
first.
ways to monopolize.
But we are not trying to do that. We're trying to balance it out.
Okay, I'll just tell you a brief history about YV.
Sure.
It's like me, Yamben, and YV basically stands for our first initials. Y is Yamben and V is Vejo. That's us.
Right.
And we have been friends since high school. That's how we came to know each other. And like we parted our ways for higher studies. And after our graduation, we came back to Kohima. And to be frank, I never thought that I'll be doing business. He was doing business in some other business before me, and like it was in the year 2017. I was just discussing, and as our group met, we were discussing regarding business ventures, all these things, and there was a proposition for say like home delivery that I tried to like put the seed in my friends. So among all the friends, he was the one who took up, who was ready to venture into delivery service. And after that, with him, we started formulating a plan, and we discussed. And to be frank, I can't say that I invented YV or I'm the only founder, because YV is non-existent without him. And also YV, we do any kind of basic needs except for those illegal things, alcohol and drugs, let's say. And like just to clarify, we do delivery through two-wheeler, and our limit is 30 kg per delivery, and charges vary upon the distance. It's like our station is located in the south block of Kohima, which is like why south block, and how are we defining south block? The south block that we chose was PHQ as our main center. So from PHQ till this rest of the south block, we charge a different price, and from PHQ till Secretariat or Marima, we charge different price again. Prices varies. And regarding the delivery timing, supposing we start at 9:30 in the morning, and like we take the last order at 5 p.m. And also we are flexible with our delivery, and also YV is also a platform where you can advertise, and also we encourage any type of any entrepreneurs or any business who want to sell the products, or like say example, sell the products. Say a certain person gave me a watch or something to sell, so like we can get the customer for him, and the other guarantee that we give within Kohima is that we can have it home delivered once the item can be delivered in a day or two. And also like I'll try to go with Organic Man now. Organic Man, it was started by my friend back in Manipur. His name is Thongram Prem Singh, and he stays in Kapchin. So like while we were doing this home delivery service, I was just checking what was the next $1 billion ideas. So what came out was like delivery was one of them. Agriculture was also one of them. So like, alright, one of my friends doing all this agriculture thing back, not thingy, I'm sorry, but like agriculture business back in Manipur. So why don't we catch up with him? So after that, we were lucky enough that we were just promoted directly to be directors for Nagaland. You take the state of Nagaland under your authority and try to initiate something. Let it be in anything. It can be agri-consultancy is one, I'm sorry, and also we sell two products as of now. One is this organic manure, and the other one is organic neem oil. Neem oil. And I could say it's way cheaper than comparing with those blended neem oils, and quality of neem oil is like really great. So far as the reviews that we have heard, as I think she's also one of my customer. She used some of our products.
As a pesticide.
No, the manure that they're selling.
Oh, manure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's a
neem oil. It's like pesticide.
You use it as a pesticide.
Organic.
It's an insect repellent, not pesticide. Pesticide, it's like it's harmful basically. And organic farming, OM are focusing on organic farming. So our stuff, it's like really helpful for organic farmers and also florists. And we have conducted some classes. Just before lockdown, we gave classes for oyster mushroom, and we are conducting classes from Manipur under NABARD. Also, we have conducted classes for veterinary, say piggery, poultry, and various other agri-related issues. Not issues. Yes.
So you do workshops on how to run a piggery?
Yes, we do.
For example.
Online.
Online
and
best practices. This is how you should do it, like that.
Yes.
For poultry as well.
Poultry, and also we give MSME certification after the classes.
MSME.
Small,
medium
enterprise. It's is it a scheme, sir?
No, it's the name of a micro, small.
It's like small company for a small company.
So you give a certification. What happens with the certification?
See, supposing I own a farm, and if I want to say, like you ask me a question, say, how do you know this, or how did you come to know this, or how are you
trained?
Trained. That's the proof.
I would like to supplement something. If, example, I'm a farmer and I have already some courses certificate, so I'm going to the bank to avail loan. So my security is like I have the knowledge about the field.
That's
so
your
security.
I think MSME also protects your invoices for startups. So last time I think they asked me if when we submitted one invoice, they were like, are you registered in MSME, because it's a little bit tricky, because if the invoice is not paid within a certain period of time, it seems MSME imposes interest to the client
onto the
for
client.
us.
Oh, amazing. The neem oil, how much is it per liter?
500 ml is for 200 rupees.
Oh,
cheap.
that's very cheap. And that's cold pressed neem oil.
I wouldn't say
Cold-pressed
cheap,
neem
very
oil.
affordable.
Affordable.
Yeah.
Cold pressed neem oil.
I'm not really familiar with the product.
Okay.
It's
okay.
directly
I don't
given
think
to
it
us from
comes.
Manipur,
Okay.
and I don't think we will be sharing that secret to you.
That's
Yeah.
50
No, I'm so
ml.
sorry.
You can make it like you put water, like
Yeah.
you put some detergent, you shake it up. Like
Yeah.
for 50 ml, it's like 15 liters of water.
Then,
Yeah,
then
the
it's not
ratio.
compressed.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
cold pressed.
So yeah.
So, right, you were saying your online coaching, your online classes. Who are the resource persons, firstly, and also how do you do it? Through
We do it through Google Meeting, and like we have some few experts from Manipur, which they organize the classes, and like they used to give it to the client.
okay, client meaning like whoever is.
Yeah,
I mean, they are able
whoever
to.
is,
Okay.
have registered
Yeah.
for the
Right,
classes.
right.
Okay. And the classes are regular classes or private classes?
In a month, we conduct around 1 or 2 classes. In a month, 1 or 2 classes.
I'll be very interested.
That's free of cost, or
It's for not for free.
Paid.
Paid
Yeah,
classes.
paid class.
no? I
It's
thought
like an
since
investment.
since it's funded by NABARD, I thought it was free.
No, OM it's a private company, and
Okay.
we get our experts from
there,
NABARD.
yeah.
We pay them to conduct the classes.
Oh, okay.
Or some-
Okay, so OM is Organic Man. Is it started in Manipur, or
Yeah,
From
it was.
Manipur,
Yeah, it
initiated
was started
in
from
Manipur.
Manipur.
so they entrusted you to be the directors for Nagaland?
Yes.
Okay. So what are your plans actually regarding OM?
It's big, should be
Okay.
told. But
As
I'm
of-
not from agri background, to be really honest. But here, what we can do is we can sell the products. But the vision that we have is like we want to create a good team. We're searching for people, for agripreneurs basically, who are willing to grow with us. What I should say is like organic. Here, Nagaland is trying to create something organic. Let's say organic state. And being organic, I wish everybody could just.
Agri and organic is the way to go, right
It's
now.
like a lifestyle.
So like we are trying to promote the organic in more organic way, so that like people can be healthier and like yeah.
You are also saying that other people they are aware about the benefits of organic, but our people are not.
Yeah.
So you are trying to promote it, right?
Yes.
Okay, let me clarify the vision. I'm sorry. Here, the farmers and the urban area, the stretch that we have here, we need a connecting point. Organic Man can be a connecting point. It's like a platform. We can act as a platform for collecting their products and selling it. Supposing
Aggregating it.
aggregating, okay, something like that.
Right. Okay. I mean, there's huge potential for that. We also we interviewed some agri officials, horticultural officials, as well as even entrepreneurs associates. I mean, they're also trying to partly do that, but there's still huge potential.
Also, what you said before, that you both of you are not from agriculture background, no? But we always say in our group, like a learning person is always an asset. Okay. So just say for me, you look at me example, like I'm talking about cyber safety, but did you think I studied anything about cyber? I did my majors in business communication and international relations studies. But when I started my work, I started as a HR. Then I started as a salesperson, and I slowly dissolved my career into marketing and then digital marketing, and then that's how I slowly started learning how to do HTML. I started doing coding and stuff like that. So it's how you like slowly learn. So if you are thinking that okay, since you are not from agriculture, even though our plan is big here, if you look at Nagaland, everyone is even in CSR this time, most of the investors who came were interested in agriculture, stalls, agriculture proposals, agriculture projects only. So if you look at the potential that our state have in terms of agriculture, since we are not from the agriculture field, I don't know what you'll say about her, but since we are not from agri field, from where we stand, from our shoe, we see that the agriculture has lots of potential, and then we can go like a lot far if you have the right skill. So what I'm saying is, like, maybe if you start, since you guys are giving trainings on oysters, mushrooms and stuff like that, why don't you guys like do the same thing for yourself? Start learning, start collecting certificates if that's necessary, start doing this and that, and then upgrade yourself, improve yourself in that field. Then you'll see the potential, you'll let others see the potential.
I just have a question. So I have a small farm, right, and I'm going to be producing. Right now I've been experimenting with basil and bok choy. Then I want to experiment with lettuce and all this kind of stuff, leafy greens, right? So how do we work together? What do? I give you my products and you sell it, or what? How does that work?
Do you have specific products you are collecting?
We are open to anything, as long as you are able to supply. Because
if you have your products, then like we will be able to sell like through advertisement, through through
and
delivery.
you do all the logistics, everything?
Yeah,
logistics too. Yes.
Okay, so the let's say the farm is in Medzisama, right?
Okay.
And I'm giving you 1,500 lettuce heads per month.
Okay.
You'll take care of everything, and you'll take some cut or something.
We can do that also.
Basically, I want to do that the wholesale, like just
I see.
trying to work out how it works here.
Here, supposing if we were to talk about green vegetables, they have certain shelf life.
Shelf life.
We tried bok choy last year.
Yeah.
The bok choy that we brought was from Woka.
Yeah.
And it stayed with us for around 3 days. And
After
most of
that
the
it's
bok
gone.
choy, so it's gone.
That's what I
Risky.
mean. So if I have the leafy green, the bok choy, the basil will hardly last a few days. I'm telling you.
Okay.
You have to get rid of it straight away. Bok choy again, hardly 3 days. You experience this, right? You have to get straight away.
So obviously part of the logistics you would need even
Yeah.
cold storage, right?
Yeah.
Are you looking for cold
Also,
storage?
the major one who plays the role is your linkages to different retails, and maybe how you acquire a customer for that, because not everyone wants to eat bok choy, not everyone wants to even smell basil. Okay, so if you are having like 1,500 bok choy in a month, how do you sell that?
Yeah. Is that your business? Is that what you do?
We did once.
Okay. Is that
Last
something
year.
you would do or not?
Actually, we do the transportation part. Most of the.
Okay. So I have to find the
you have to
customers.
find.
No, we can
do that also, but
Okay.
our why we focus only on the logistic.
No, I was thinking about organic man.
Okay.
OM.
Okay.
Yeah. Would OM do
OM
that or not really?
We can work out with YV together,
Okay.
because delivery wise here we have two platforms to advertise.
Yeah.
One is Organic Man, the
Yeah.
other one is YV. So supposing we advertise it in advance, I'm pretty sure we can get some good amount of customers once the product is ready and reaches it to us.
I also have a suggestion. Maybe you can, since you deal with so many restaurants, right? Like I mean, so maybe you can you can sell to restaurants.
Yeah.
That way, your customers will.
One restaurant is just
I don't think bok choy is
No, not only bok choy, maybe in
Whatever,
every other,
anything.
because again, restaurants, they're always every day they're purchasing items right from the market. So what if they
Direct to
Yeah,
door.
it circles back to what you pointed out before, data. Okay, you have a wide database of your customer, which could be a potential buyer for the vegetables that are coming in.
Yeah.
Now you have to pick out those, and then you have to go convince them, okay, we have this vendor who's gonna supply this, so can you make us a linking vendor to supply this into your daily, because if it's a restaurant, if it's a hotel, they need it daily. So that could be a very good customer. So it all comes back to how you manage your data, and then you track the customer buying behavior also, and then you try to navigate your strategy.
You're saying you're sorry, advertise too. That means you're talking about your clients already, right? No, I mean you're saying advertise. So what do you mean by advertise?
Advertisement can be in terms of, like, supposing he has his product ready. Say bok choy, I guess it takes around 2 to 3 months to grow. To supposing during the time of harvest, a week before harvest, he sends us a photo of his bok choy, and like we can advertise it to our platform and say that such and such thing is available at such and such price.
Okay, on your social media platform, which your clients are all you have a lot of
Yes,
Okay.
We can do that.
So we can collect the orders
Yeah.
and like we can place it to you. Even that is
That's
possible.
possible.
Another guarantee, it's like we can have it home delivered. Simple as that.
But in other way, that doesn't guarantee him that you're gonna buy all the bok choy he's producing.
Yeah,
in his
that
farm.
Yeah.
So he'll have.
Yeah.
What will he do with the remaining one?
The
which he didn't
leftover.
order?
Maybe
We
you
can
can
search
get
that.
your
Yeah.
customers, like I say, like every season, if you're going to really farm
Yeah,
and
yeah.
do thing, maybe you can cultivate seasonal plants.
Yeah.
Vegetables. That way, like
Consistency
even the
is what.
the restaurants will keep purchasing from them. That is like them purchasing from me,
Yeah.
right?
Also, since you have, I mean, like a lot of perishable vegetables, that means cold storage would be quite useful, is it?
Yes.
Cold storage will be useful.
Okay.
Yes.
It
So
is
the thing
needed.
is, I think I saw it was it YV delivery. There was this packed. They were storing in plastic bags like vegetables and sealed
Ziploc?
and Ziploc and
That's
were selling.
urban growers.
Yeah.
Oh,
urban growers.
Oh, okay.
No, our people are really becoming good at packaging also, right?
Yeah.
They are becoming better.
Maybe we can also do that.
And I think one potential client, your restaurant guy, he has a suggestion. No, you were going to
He'll
say
be the
something.
buyer.
I have one suggestion,
Yeah.
but like they are totally talking about organic vegetables, example. So I get the same vegetable in the market for a lower price. So what we are concerned is we go for the pricing, because even if I'm buying organic vegetables, I cannot hike my price.
Yeah.
So I'm going to the market vegetables. So one suggestion is like you should be very
Lenient.
yes.
Yeah.
And
Pricing.
example, if you're just earning 5 rupee per kg, but if I'm a genuine customer, I'm going to buy for the rest of the
Yeah.
business. So that is how your long-term will get.
We can always
Yes.
make a deal.
Each man for himself.
I think you also segment your customers, you know. There are certain customers who will buy organic at a higher price also.
Yeah.
So if you could target your customers, that might be one option.
Also, one of the key factors being consistency,
Yeah,
and that applies to him as a supplier, you as a distributor, and him as a buyer. Because if you don't have that, if he doesn't have the consistency of
Exactly,
supplying,
yeah.
and if you don't have the consistency of distributing, nobody is gonna like
Yeah.
be even in the circle of buying and selling. So, because I learned this the hard way when I was back in 2016 when I used to sell vegetables in Mao Market.
Okay.
So I was a student then, but I was like doing the wholesale thing. So what I didn't realize is that in every market there is always a don,
Yeah.
somebody who dominates the market. So I was a very new. I think it was my second day of selling, and then I was distributing this for wholesale, and then the lady came and she was like, "Hey, you can't sell here," and I was like, "Why?" And it's like, "This is my area." Then some of the ladies, they were scolding her, "You cannot say like that to a student like that," nah? And then she threatened them, "Just see, like this student will stop selling after 2 or 3 months, and then I will not sell to you guys. I mean, you guys are buying from him, so I'm not gonna sell it to you guys again." So this is some kind of like sense of competition that goes, which is the approach was unhealthy, but it's good to have competition. But what I'm saying here is like, of course I stopped selling after 2 or 3 months, fulfilling her wish, but the consistency really matters. People like the trust, it like degrades when you don't have the consistency.
Very true.
Well, this is not related to Organic Man, but this is related to YV.
Yeah.
So YV, as we're going along, right? We're doing I'm sure you have some long-term plan, and you may have thought or may not have thought about this. But what I see is that as we're going along, more delivery companies will come in, and a lot of them has not penetrated here yet, but resolve a lot of the logistical issues, right? So, for example, route planning. Right, so when you start doing at scale, then you can lower your unit price because you have more customers. And what you can do is, what people can do is increase efficiencies into that by leveraging again on technology. I'm all about leveraging technology, right? So for example, if you are here, right, and you're saying that you're selling per distance, not per kilo, and your maximum is 30 kilos, right? So from here to here, right, what are the pickup and drop-offs along the way, right?
Other pickups.
Other pickups, other drop-offs along the way. And how does the driver know that, right? A lot of those has already been resolved. A very big example is Amazon, right? So if I purchase from Amazon, that driver knows that they need to go to this house, this house, this house, to what time it will come. Your package will arrive by 9 p.m. Because they know that the package has been scanned the whole way, arrived at the delivery center, and now is being distributed. And it's so efficient, right, that the driver can deliver out of the 30 kilos, 5-6 houses on one trip. And every time they go to a house, they have the OTP, they scan it, they go to the next house. So right now, it's only being done with Amazon, which isn't a direct competitor to you, right? But a direct competitor will come where a lot of those logistical headaches are being sorted out, right? Package tracking, basically, and delivery, software. So have you thought about how to combat that, or how you prepare when that occurs?
If we were to talk about digitalization, Nagaland, in terms of digitalization and home delivery service, it's not very catchy as of now. But over time we will be needing it. And my friend here, I guess we will be approaching you for web designing. And that and also regarding the challenges, supposing we were to say the delivery has to be made within a day, flash delivery. Comparing with Amazon and their logistics, so them it's very different from us again.
No, I understand that. That is completely different. But what I'm saying is within Kohima, right? Because Amazon comes from Delhi or whatever it's. That same ability to track a package from Delhi to Kohima, right? Step by step along the way, right? That technology exists today. Out of that 50 will come to Kohima, and out of that 10 will come on my road, right? But they know exactly how much to fill the shipping container, exactly how much to ship the truck. So they're utilizing every single square foot, and they're utilizing every delivery route, which means they can do it at a price that is so low, right? They've worked out the logistical headache.
That might disrupt.
I'm saying that is a disruption that is coming.
If we were to come to you and make such an app, how much will you charge? That's the main problem.
I think you have like cheaper tracking management systems now. You don't have to like necessarily approach or build one. You'll get a very cheap one. Also, since you have a very small team, like comparatively very small team, because if you compare your competitors, but not near one, like Blue Dart Delivery and all, yours like very small team. So I think you can avail some cheap tracking management system, given that your area of coverage is like just Kohima. Then you can buy a user of 10 people, 2 or 3 administrator, 10 users, and then done. You're good to go.
Now, you may not need it now at your size, but if you have aspirations to grow to hundreds of drivers, right, all over Kohima, all over Northeast, right?
And if you're aspiring for that, I would not suggest you to start with the TMS.
So if you have that kind of aspirations, right, or even if your aspirations are only Kohima, right, the technology already exists, it just hasn't penetrated here, but we know it's going to come, no doubt. So how do we prepare ourselves, or how do you prepare yourself? Is it something that
you can also consult some people now? There are lots of tracking management systems available now, even for India. So the way you approach, and then you can ask them for a demo. They'll give you a free demo. They'll get you on Zoom. They'll give you like, okay, this is how it works. You can do like this, you can do like this, and then they'll give you a demo. And then if you like it, if you think it's viable for the terrain here and the people here, if it's easy to use, user friendly is what they call, and it's like budget, it comes under your budget, then
just something to think about. Because like a lot of this thing is
actually coming. So
it's not just it's coming, it's already here, we just don't know it, right? So my dad will tell me about some technology, and he'll be like, oh, do you know that this can happen? I said, Dad, this has been happening for 20 years.
The only technology that surprises me till now is augmentation.
So, I mean, you could implement that if you're planning to scale up, if you're planning to increase your businesses, right? as of now, perhaps you're on the waiting mode or you're observing it. So in the next 1 or 2 years, you might be using that software, that technology. So hopefully, yeah, they'll really grow their business in the right way.
Yeah, not just to scale, but to defend. Like, how do you defend your market? So you work so hard to get Kohima market. Then in a few years, now you have 5 drivers, you might 10, 15 drivers, you have this company. All of a sudden, another company comes that can do it at a quarter of the price because they've worked out the logistical headache.
Right.
Right.
That might be an outside company.
There might be an outside company as well, right? Most likely.
Okay.
Right? Then this hard work that you've done for 2-3 years can be wiped out overnight. Right? So the idea is, how do you defend yourself? How do you defend your territory? How do you defend your business, right, against future threats, right? And one way to think about it is that act as if those threats are there today. So I don't think about, in my business, right, I don't think, oh, you know, like I said, there's 6,000 edtech companies in India. I don't think about my business as if, oh, one day they'll come here and then I'll have to defend. I'm defending from today. Today I said, any other business can come. Let's see if they can add as much value as I can. Right? I don't care who comes.
And your main plus point is that you're adding a lot of local value. You know, the local market. So that's your main plus point. Right. I mean, so how do you use, you were talking about social media to your advantage. How do you use it for your business? So to say, for any other entrepreneur, perhaps you don't need to go to the secret, but
Social media, it's about lifestyle and also like talking to people in a picture way.
We live in like ultra connected society, so social media, when Facebook was new, it was like top of the line. So like I think this Instagram and all, like they're coming up with like new ideas, new business ideas, and also like we're trying to catch up with that. Through that only, like we are trying to influence or like get customers or like
so I mean you're finding success with that. You're using
Can
that
I
and
ask
you're
you
getting
a
clients.
question?
We have a social media expert.
So the thing is, right now what people are doing is like they are selling, then they are buying through online, right? Like, I mean, talk about Amazon, talk about Flipkart and everything. It's been there since long time back, but we never really knew that we could really buy and sell through Instagram, you get me, or through Facebook, or through WhatsApp, like you said earlier, WhatsApp business, right? So now people are really getting to know all of this and the shortcuts of generating money or to get money, right? And making our life easier. So social media has become so much easier for all of us actually, from buying to selling, for sustaining one's lifestyle or maybe like sustaining ourselves, right? So social media thing is actually very helpful, and also it's like really at the top right now, right? Like, and so everyone is on their phone right now. Literally from the youngest to the oldest, like everyone is with their phones, like browsing through Instagrams, like that, right? So people are really using all these platforms, like where people are there, like I mean advertisement, like the flyers, nah? People are wasting so much money to make a flyer to advertise, right, their product, right? Because again, people are always in their Instagrams and their phones, so that way it's really helping the market and the business grow actually. Because even if you put a banner so big in the roadside, nobody's gonna look at the banner, you get me? Like, I mean, only down. They're only gonna look at their phones, right? So it's making everyone's life easier. So this is like helping sustain our business as well and to grow our business as well. So that'll be the answer to the question.
Thank you.
I think space marketing still works.
It doesn't really work so much, as how it's working through social media thing, right?
Not necessarily here, but I think people make a big deal of that in US and all, billboards, and in Japan as well. They have this. Of course, in Japan it's like digitalized, but it's still a billboard.
But we're talking about Nagaland here.
I guess it has its place everywhere, like outside airports or hospitals or places in the highway. billboards. But yeah, social media is now relevant everywhere.
Yeah.
And so interestingly, like I listened to an influencer who was saying that the influence of Instagram is going slightly down, you know, like, and also a very old thing like Facebook pages are increasing in their increasing in value and a number of visitors. So anyway, like that's partly because the big companies, it seems huge companies, they are withdrawing all their advertising dollars from all the platforms. So that's why it's becoming native. More viewers are going to these sites, you know, the older sites. Anyway, thank you YV Deliveries for talking about your businesses. That was fascinating. And now we come to the last part of our lengthy discussion, which is now we want each one of you to give one question each, so that we break it up and discuss among ourselves what that particular question you want to know about, you know. So this time, I think let's start with YV Deliveries.
So this one question, how do you differentiate between your life and your business? And how do you manage your business? Like, yeah.
Good question.
2 phones.
2 phones, alright.
What was
Business phone, personal phone.
I haven't found that hack yet.
But honestly, everything is split up.
Okay.
Personal email, work email.
Okay.
Business phone, personal phone.
Alright.
Personal calendar, business calendar. So everything is actually split up, and like completely, because you need some headspace, you need to relax. Yeah.
That's so simple, so effective, which all of us can implement, you know. We didn't even think about it, you know, after being so long in the space. So anyway, thank you for that. And anybody else?
Maybe I can't afford it, the second phone.
For the time being.
Yeah, for the time being. But yeah, I think it's a very good idea.
Yeah.
But
So nice.
it's like having a different phone and having a different email and stuff like that. Just wondering how do I manage like separate time, because for me basically like everything is just in one, like it's just flowing in one river, like I'm just going along with it. I don't even have a separate life or like personal or work. It's just like work, and sometimes in between I'm just living it.
I think for you guys who are single without having families and all, you can do that. Now is the time for you to hustle and go about it. But after you have a family and stuff, then you have definite work hours, right? You can't be working all the time. When you go home, you spend time with your family, most important. But yeah, I mean, personal time is very valuable. If you put your personal life first, then I think that gives more value even to your business, you know.
Yeah.
But timing is very essential.
Also, you don't want to burn out and
Yes,
Doing all
yes.
this very good thing.
Yeah.
thinking about it like a marathon on a sprint. Yeah.
Anybody else, or we move on to the next question?
Next question.
Okay. So now it's your turn.
Okay. Do you think it's important to keep in touch with your clients or customers?
Okay.
And what strategy do you use?
So I'll speak in terms of my work. So here, since I'm like in my physical state, I'm going to different places and training people, and there is a certain catch because we are giving these courses for free. Okay. So for us, the business model is very different than yours because the service that we give is free. So like they say, when you don't pay for something, you don't really see a value. So we struggle with that. Now, since it's for free, and then some people may think that or take it for granted. But what I do or what my team do is because when they are registering or coming for the trainings, even though it's free, we write their name, numbers, email, and all. We constantly keep in touch with them, are you applying those things that we have told you to? Not every day. We don't want to be spamming them or disturbing them, but to some certain degree we keep in touch with the people that we have. Also, one of the main reason is to nurture our data. That's one reason that.
Yeah, I agree. Customer relationship is very important. The way that we do it is we have quite structured times. So during the implementation or during the project, either I think depending on which phase we're in, either every week or every 2 weeks, we have a structured catch-up where we update the client. So we send them a report about a day or two before. They read over the report, they raise any questions, we resolve any queries or challenges, and that is a structured meeting. If it's in the first phase, it's every week. If it's in the second phase, it's every 2 weeks. And if it's in the third phase, it's about once a month. And so that keeps, that communication going. We also have this thing called a hierarchy of communication at our office. And what we do is we put face-to-face at the top, and we put WhatsApp and SMS and all that down the bottom. So what you do is, if you're communicating with anybody within the team, or if you're communicating to anybody outside, you work through the hierarchy. First, can you meet face-to-face? If it's not physical possible, we have some staff who are in Dimapur, then can you get on a Zoom, right? If you can't get on a Zoom, can you get on a phone call? If you can't get on a phone call, can you get on a WhatsApp message, or then email, then SMS?
Are you saying within staff or with staff and client?
With staff and client. So we have this hierarchy of conversation, hierarchy of communication of everybody that we deal with, internally or externally. And you always put face-to-face meeting at the top, right? So quite often what we see, because we were talking about the efficiency, the ease of technology, social media, everything, everybody goes to the bottom, the lowest fidelity, right? The lowest value. Everybody goes to the common denominator. Let's just send a WhatsApp, something. But there's a lot of value that you have through face-to-face, through seeing somebody, talking with somebody, that is lost. So we have to remind ourselves that actually the most effective communication is face-to-face, and the most efficient communication may be WhatsApp, right? So we're prioritizing effectiveness over efficiency. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's how so we have couple of ways of doing it, but we do the regular catch-ups, and then we also, the way that we do it, we have a priority list, and everybody theoretically is supposed to do that mental check before they decide who they're communicating or what they're communicating.
Great points, great hints. Any other person to say, or if not, we move on.
I would like to know what are his answers, because he's dealing with new customers coming to his business space every day. Yeah. So how do you keep in touch, or keep the loops running?
So since I'm from hospitality background, the saying goes, the first impression is the last impression. So at my best capacity, I try to satisfy them. So maybe in service or in just building the bond. So I think building the bond between the customer and the owner is very important, because there are dozens of restaurants within Kohima district or even BOC. But if I have a bond with a particular customer, I think he has more tendency to visit mine if there is a bond between us. So making this bond is very important.
Can I also add to him, so with my foster plans, that's my plan page, or we're not really talking about it here, but anyways, what I do is my service, I try, like he said, first impression is the last impression, right? So my service, I try to give out the best service I could, to anyone, and eventually that way they're going to have trust on me, right? I bought a plant from her the last time, it was really good, maybe obviously they're going to come back if it's good, right? To any of the business, actually, see, we're all in a competition. We're saying very less competition, but actually we're all in a competition. I have so many online business, flowers, how many of them are selling flowers through Instagram, right? But the trust that we give out, we let our customers trust us, right? According to our products, it's not about how, I never say, oh, my flower is this, I never mention anything, but still they buy it and they really see it, oh, such a nice plant, like that, no? And they give me good feedbacks. That way I'm building my trust on them, right? And then eventually all the customers are going to come back with the best one, right? Yeah, so maybe building the trust is one of the best strategy to keep the customers on loop, right? And also like also how to keep them in touch is like it's not your words that's going to speak, but your items, your thing is going to speak louder, right? So consistency, like he said earlier, we have to be very consistent, right? Like, I mean, with our products, we cannot give out like different like bad items, or maybe today was good and the next was bad. Like first impression is the last impression, so we should not just stop there, right? Yeah, so maybe consistency and building the trust with our works and not with our words. That's yeah.
Works, not words.
At one point again.
Yeah.
The thought just came to my mind. I was in a restaurant, and there was a quotation: "If you don't take care of your customers, somebody else will."
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
in terms of customer service, as entrepreneurs or businessmen, we really need to focus on our customers.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's one area where our Naga entrepreneurs are failing, actually. They don't give good customer service nor good customer relationship, and even consistency is lacking a lot. So, I mean, it's good that we are raising more awareness about this. So, definitely.
I would like to share an instance. There was a customer of mine who was broke that time, but he was hungry. So he came and he ate. So I let him eat through credit. So after some week, he came back, but he came back with his friends since he got his salary. So I gave him on credit, but then what he did was he paid back, bringing 5-6 more customers from it. So
that's nice.
I totally agree that bonding and trust is very important.
Yeah.
So that was one of the beautiful experience I was experienced.
What they always say, I mean, it's in the world. I mean, what you give back, you always get back in double or triple, you know. When you help somebody, you get help from some unexpected sources. So anyway, give more love, you get more love. The next question, please, from Namang.
So we have revolved around all of the aspects of business, but if I need to ask questions, I might want to ask things that I'm oblivious of. So I want to know, how do you guys manage finance in business? Because that's what has been triggering me lately. So you don't have to tell me the numbers, but you can like share if you have any very good experience of how you do it. Maybe the basics, 1 or 2, 3 stuff. If you can share, maybe it will be helpful for the viewers as well. We're just like starting up. We'll start with them, I guess, because you get like you are a, like, what do you call it, life tracker.
So basically for this financial management, we do it personally together, so that like all these datas are like already there in the computer. So like we just like need to track it and like like the ups and downs of our business. Yeah, that's how we manage everything.
You mean like in terms of investment, saving up, investing?
Not really. When I say finance, it's just okay. Just managing the money. We can all do it. How do you like identify what's working, what's not working, and how do you cut corners when something is not going in your way? How do you push something when you think that it's potential? Like how do you maneuver or identify all those in terms of like from a financial point of view? Because us, we are not a real-time earner, but for you, you earn in real time. Means you get cash on the table now. So every day there is like money outgoing in like incoming. So the financial management for you is more headache than others.
That's true.
What we
But you make it very simple.
See, throughout the from morning to evening, like we used to collect all the things. So like in the evening, we used to like collect all the datas and like the money spent, coming in, going out. We used to like collect that, and we used to enter it, and like we'll make a set, and like we'll keep it as a data, everything every day So yeah, in a month, like how much is going up, down. So we used to keep track, with a graph. Yeah, that's what we do.
You have anything to say?
I think I'll keep quiet regarding finances.
You're also able to track where you get more
One
profits,
point
or
would be like
in what
from which
area you're more
most
profitable or
orders are
losing.
coming.
Okay.
Would you be able to track that through a financial
Yeah.
data?
Yeah, sure. Like food, example food. Like there's a lot, but food is one of the most important thing.
Say anything, but not good in finance. This side. Yours?
So for me, like I maintain like a bookkeeping. So I track like my daily income and expenditures. So at the end of the day, I keep aside my expenditure, and I have a target like from that 1 to 10, I will make the rent. From that 11 to 17, the salaries, and the remaining will be mine. So that's my target. And every day, like I keep aside 200 as my savings, like for any unforeseen losses if it may occur. So
Such a nice plan.
yeah, that's how I like maintain my financial status.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah,
Very organized.
that's the real blessing of working in a real-time cash flow, nah? Because you get cash every day, so there is a need for you, or you can keep aside 100, 200 rupees for you. Not unlike Sir TV here, because like of course like for I am assuming like he goes on contract, nah? He goes on contract, so it's not every day he gets money.
That's true.
So he cannot save every day like that.
So here's my question. Judging on how or where Nagaland is at right now, how or what is the best way possible to advertise our business? Yeah, that would be my question. So, can you start?
I still think two things: word of mouth and social media.
Yeah.
I think those two are the best platforms right now. I mean, people are doing. I think if you can spread your advertising, it's good. So have like a level of importance. So face-to-face social media at the top. Then if you have more advertising spending, your business is doing well, it won't hurt to add newspaper. Like it won't hurt to add radio, Dragovan. It won't hurt to add Hornbill TV, right? So I think those things are lower order, but still word of mouth at the top, and also social media. I think those are, in our current environment, the number one ways to advertise and market.
Generally speaking, you are correct. Newspaper also goes very high in the list because everybody reads it, but it's very costly because Nagaland Post or whatever, they have a huge circulation, so they charge high. So anyway,
if you have the extra budget, go newspaper, do everything else. But starting off, the most efficient and the most cost-effective, social media and.
I would also like to supplement something. Nagaland is full of happening. Like there is lots of events. So maybe even in your local area, like if there is a sports or something even happening, you can just contribute something and be the sponsor. So your name is on the flags or announcing something happens. You're already promoted. Or like today you're sponsoring them for something. Tomorrow they might be your customer. So that is also something.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly, events, important concerts, everything, right? That's huge these days, live events. So, any answers to that question, or we move on to the next?
I think that's pretty much about
Yeah,
it, because we all agree that social media and evangelism is the best way of marketing. But we just need to put values to that. That's
Yeah.
it.
I think this is an important one to think as entrepreneurs, and also for our audience, who are entrepreneurs themselves or potential entrepreneurs, to really talk about what are the failures or the challenges along the way, and what, not the specific challenge or failure, but what is the tactics and what is the approach or the mindset you use to resolve some of that.
Your mindset to resolve your issues and challenges.
Yeah, or your failures.
Very important. Yeah.
In terms of I guess failure is the killer of success. And also, say for our example, we're doing partnership business, and we can't say that partnership business is really successful in Nagaland. It's very rare to see two people or some party existing for very long. So like it's all about mutual understanding if you are the proprietor, and also yes, if we are to be really considerate, it's about forgiving each other, and also like how do we take the next step. That should be the approach, because if we keep on thinking about the mistake, if we keep on ponder on the mistakes, I don't think we're looking for any solutions. And as we entrepreneurs, we're solution givers. So I guess committing mistake is not an issue for us, because we always have a solution.
Anybody else?
You want to supplement anything?
Yeah, so also dignity of labor, right? So every one of us here are entrepreneurs, right? Like and now that everybody's again talking about white collar jobs like that, right? Dignity of labor, say delivering. People will say a white collar job, maybe an official will say this is a very low job, and even him going selling or maybe like doing all these marketings, or me a planter, right? Or you as well, and you make cooking, very low jobs, but again we add so much value to life, right? Yeah, so failures, I should not say failures, but maybe it's the words that really hurt us, right? Like very discouraging at times. It's not sunshine, and it's not like that every day, right? There are days we also have ups and downs. There's rain, but again the hope in us, right? Like every day is not the same day, every day is not Sunday, right? And also like we all have aims to achieve, right? So in all this, like encouraging ourselves, and also like we said earlier, dignity of labor, holding on to that. Yeah, and we all have aims, like I said again. So in all this, like we come out of it, and then we sustain, and we are still growing, and we will keep growing. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, and that's very true. And like recently, Nitsute of Entrepreneurs Associates, he was saying that we all think that the government will bring economy, improvement, prosperity. But it is not the government who will improve the economy, but it is the entrepreneurs, the people on the ground, the local market, the local businesses who are going to bring a change in the economy of the people, right? So be aware of that we are also contributing to the economy. We are hiring people, we are giving jobs, we are, making the economy go round. So anyway, that is one mindset which I think we should have. Any questions from your side?
As per my assumption of what I see, Nagas are like we switch our passions or our interests instantly. So a Naga guy starts a business, his parents invest a huge amount of money, but within 2-3 years the business drops down. Then suddenly he changed his passion, so he's into another career. So I feel like that is also one of our disadvantages. So today I just want to get some advices relating to this, because I also have experienced this. When pandemic came, for once I thought I should give up. But if I am to think, why should I give up on something that I have given all my heart and soul? So investing time and money for so many years and suddenly switching to another business, it's not going to be helpful. So I just want to get some ideas, advices from you. So if this I'm to experience again, how to motivate myself or how to be more aware of business world.
Can I answer to this? Yeah, so see, business, we always invest first, then later on comes the profit, right? So why give up when you're still investing? Right? Wait for the profit. Only then, once you're settled and once you're okay, I'm done, this is what it is, like the profit, you always have, we always invest with an aim. We invest 10 rupees thinking we're going to, not thinking, we're aiming to get 100 rupees back. So why give up when we're still investing? Get that 100 rupees back and then give up, right? So encourage yourself like that, saying that why give up when I am still investing. Nah? So yeah,
Patience, give your best, and like start small so that you can learn.
Small experience. So during the COVID, when everything was shutting down, I like audaciously came to Kohima in 2020 around October, and I opened a store, a showroom in Kohima, an apparel showroom, unisex. Then it ran for about like till April or May this year, and I shut it down. Now there was several reasons. First thing first, I did not check the market. Second thing, I just wanted to do something. And third thing is, I was not here. For the 2 years, I never saw my store. I was in Bangalore. And the last thing is, it was not generating that much revenue as I want, and then I wanted to start something new. So like you can call me a victim, you can call me somebody who is like very careless. So it's very tricky to understand what you want before, if you are very new to the world of entrepreneurship. Because if you have money, sometimes you just want to do anything you want. Whether you don't know if you'll continue it or not, if it will work out in the market or not, if it meets the demand and supply logic or not. So learn from me.
Yeah, I believe so. Please say.
Here's a saying, right, by Jack Ma. Entrepreneur's life. For us, I think we should be expecting day after tomorrow, not tomorrow, but day after tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's how long we're going to wait. So
Yeah.
it's that, I guess.
I think according to what everybody was saying, like the things that really we're talking about is grit, right? Stickability, stick through. Determination. And I think as we're talking about a field of entrepreneurship, there should be some knowledge about what it is, right? So if you're a doctor, right, people will tell you, your MBBS will tell you, other doctors will tell you, right, this is your expectation. When you're a junior, you'll do this many hours. You'll do one rural round, right? And you will see death. And you will have to tell people that their family members have died. You have to talk to somebody and say, you will die. So you better prepare yourself emotionally, know what you're doing, if that is your vocation. That goes for all vocations, right? So in the field of entrepreneurship, we also need to say that this is the field of entrepreneurship, and you have to prepare for this. You have to prepare for loneliness. You have to prepare for failure, right? You have to prepare for the valley of death, meaning the time that your business is not being profitable, where you're burning cash, right? You have to prepare to know that, oh, I only have 2 months cash in my pocket to run my business, right? This is the things that you will expect, right? So, and I think in the field of entrepreneurship, if we're able to educate them as a vocation, as a career, right? This is your career expectation. That most entrepreneurs, actually the average age of successful entrepreneur is 40, even if they start at 20, right? So I think in every field, I'll use the example, you're not going to become a senior doctor until your late 30s. You might not become a head of a department in your medical field until you're 40. So everybody tells you these things, right, if you're becoming a doctor. Whereas in entrepreneurship, we don't seem to be laying out the pathway, right? Which I think if more people entering the career of entrepreneurship are aware of the career pathways, then they can make a conscious choice whether to choose it or not choose it. But if you do choose it, these are the highs and these are the lows. And in that way, I think we'll have less people, giving up so early. I mean, almost every entrepreneur you talk to in the world, they will say, expect to have at least 5 failed businesses, right? No entrepreneur is going to tell you otherwise, right? Every entrepreneur you you speak to say, don't expect your profits until you cross that chasm. And that chasm, depending on your business model, might be a minimum of 2 years. Most businesses is a minimum of 2 years before you see real profit. So I think if we're able to educate people on the career or entrepreneurship, then we don't see this, giving up so early or whatever. So they're aware of what they're entering into. I think if you told a doctor, you didn't tell them any information that you will have to tell people they're going to die. If you're going to have to tell parents that their children are going to die, and they enter that field, as soon as they have to do that, many of them will quit. But they're warned. Yeah, so I think we can do the same.
I think with that note, we have had a long discussion, and thank you all. And we learned a lot. I hope you guys learned something at least.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Thank you for giving us this platform.
thank you
Thank
for
you.
coming.
Thank you so much.
We hope that we stick to our jobs with grit and determination, and at least last it out for 3 years. Because I think 3 years is the benchmark.
Yeah.
Beyond that, if you go, perhaps if it is not succeeding, then you can change your business, sort of. So I think with that positive note, whether it's positive or not, we come to an end.
Cautious note.
All right. Thank you so much, and
Thank
thank
you
you
so
to our
much.
viewers.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
a
you so
pleasure being
much.
here.